Hi everyone, and welcome to our video today. We're going to be visiting with Virgin Voyages. Virgin is a new cruise line for us and for you. And so Charlie, I'm going to turn it over to you and let you introduce Miss Kristy.
We are delighted to have Kristy Giragosian today. She is the regional sales manager for Virgin Voyages. You may associate the name Virgin with Richard Branson, who has built a quality image for all sorts of things, whether it's airplanes or spaceships or whatever, all over the world. And we're excited about Virgin Voyages and the innovative product that it's going to be. The ship itself appears in all of the artist renderings and in the pictures and images we've seen to be a magnificent ship. And we're so looking forward to getting back to cruising and taking advantage of Virgin's offerings that they have that Kristy will talk to us about today. Without any further ado, Kristy, take it away.
Thank you so much, Sherrie and Charlie. I can't wait to talk to you more about this product. So piggybacking off what Charlie said, so yes, Richard Branson is the mastermind behind all of the Virgin Group. I think what makes him so successful in all of his businesses is that he looks for ordinary interactions and experiences and figures out how he can make them extraordinary. So he always has the consumer in mind when launching business and doing business for good. But how Virgin Voyages, so the cruise ship, even came to be. So since the age of 26 years old, Richard Branson's always wanted to own a cruise line. I don't know many 26-year-olds that think of owning a cruise line, but I am sure as heck glad he was one of them. But for him, he grew up on houseboats, and he's a huge advocate for our oceans. And as a fun fact, Richard Branson has never cruised on a cruise ship in his entire life, which is pretty shocking. But the reason being is he didn't see a product out there that fit what he was looking for as a traveler. So he knew he was on to something because he knew he wasn't alone, and there were probably others out there looking for something different. So for us, we really are taking the approach of shaking up your traditional type of cruising, and we're coming in and making a big splash. So if you think you know cruising, it's time to think of it again. Richard Branson is always looking to shake things up. So some of the ways we're going to do that, well, starting with our terminal. So Virgin Voyages has made Miami our home. This is a rendering. We did just break ground on it. So there are live images online. You can track the progress of it. But this is the first terminal you'll see as soon as you cross over the bridge heading into Port of Miami. And we wanted it to be unique and a rock star service from the second you pull up the port. So with our technology, we'll really be revamping the way the embarkation process is done. So you'll spend very little time in the port itself, but we still wanted it to be a really cool experience. And we want you to feel proud that you're about to get onto the Virgin ship as you show up to Miami. So this is Scarlet Lady. She is our very first ship. We actually took ownership of her this past February, and she was scheduled to launch in April of 2020. Unfortunately, with the worldwide pandemic that came and is still with us, we took ownership of the ship, but she's yet to sail. So this is a pristine, beautiful, brand new build, just waiting for her chance to set sail. As of today, we actually announced her new launch date will be May 9th, 2021. So we are very excited. We're keeping an eye on things, but we hope to get her up with our sailors in May of next year. Because Scarlet Lady has an occupancy of 2,770 sailors. So she's a mid-sized ship. So not getting into that mega category. We've got a 2-to-1 ratio. So for every 2 sailors, 1 Rockstar crew member to really deliver that service level we're known for. That's about 1,400 cabins and suites. Her total tonnage and weight is 110,000. She is equivalent to the weight of almost 87,000 London buses. And her length is 912 feet, which is approximately 155 Richard Branson. So I always think that's a little fun fact. What makes us different and what it is to sail the Virgin Way. So we are an adult-only experience at sea. So no kids, no kidding. Looking at the market, we knew there was an area that was not being met, and that was the adult-only segment. We wanted to provide a sophisticated, relaxed luxury experience without the rules and stuffiness that came with luxury. So this is a place for you to let your inner child loose and really kind of experience a different way of sailing. Our entertainment is going to be a game changer as well, because instead of actually hosting already existing shows on board our ships, we've partnered with producers to create original content exclusively for Virgin Voyages. So these are shows you can't get anywhere else. I mean, we've got an incredible dinner theater that we're working on. We've got our scheduled programming that you'll see in our theater, which again, for us, it's a floating boutique hotel. So our theater doesn't seat thousands of people. It's smaller and intimate. The furthest away you ever are from the stage is 14 rows. So you really feel like you're in it and part of the show. And it really is kind of that more immersive, and you make a connection with the show that's going on. So we'll have your traditional shows there, and then also things that will not be scheduled. So throughout the day, we'll have things that if you're in the right place at the right time, you may stumble across some really unique acts happening through the ship. So maybe an artist setting up an easel, or even someone that starts playing live music. So it's definitely a fun surprise environment done in a really tasteful way. The design of the ship, as I dive into Onboard Spaces, you'll notice she doesn't feel like a traditional ship in the sense that it is these smaller spaces. So we did that on purpose to be more of a land-based experience, but brought to the ocean. So we didn't ever want you to walk into a main dining room that seats 2,000 people. We wanted it to feel like you're going to a lounge that you would go to at home. So you'll notice that as we transition through some of the different spaces. My favorite aspect of the ship is definitely the food. We have reimagined the way cruise food is done, and we've got over 20 eateries on the ship. Not one of them is a buffet. So now more than ever, buffets are going to be a bit of a challenge. So we are lucky that this was never part of our experience on board. But we've got Michelin star chefs that partner to create all of these menus, and it truly is absolutely mind-blowing. And I promise I'll dive into what some of those eateries are and what you can expect. Vitamin C is our way of wellness. So we want you to overindulge in the amazing food, but also be able to have that balance and, do the fitness if that's something you like to do on vacation. So we wanted to provide you with lots of fitness classes and opportunities there, all about detox and retox. So with Virgin Voyages, we say it's all about balance. And then last but not least, our destinations. As I dive into our itineraries, one thing we wanted to focus on was making sure we were staying later at our ports. And the reason being is because our sailors are well-traveled. So they told us they want to take the off the beaten path. But a lot of times with cruise ships, they feel scared that they're going to get left behind because they're not in port very long. So we wanted to give our sailors the chance to do really unique things without having to worry about their name coming over the intercom or like running back to the ship. So you'll see that in some of our itineraries. Our second ship, Valiant Lady, will have a lot of overnight stays, and then we will talk about our bonfire soirees as well. But one thing that is a huge differentiator about sailing with us is any sailing you book, you'll always have our On Us proposition, which for us, we're a more inclusive product. So you never have to worry about hidden fees, nickel and diming, or a surprise bill at the end of your voyage. So no matter what I lost the slide there. I'll stay here. Sorry about that. But no matter what, you will always have all of your eateries included. So there's 20 plus eateries I mentioned that include specialty dining experiences, no packages, no add-ons, no charges, everything's included. Your Wi-Fi, it's a basic human right these days. So of course you want to have that on the ship as well. We even include all of your gratuities. So for us, we've got the lowest alcohol pricing at sea. A standard beer is truly $5, and you never have to tip on top of that. We offer unlimited group fitness classes. So as I mentioned, that balance. So you can take a spin class or morning yoga. And we've got a ton of fun opportunities, even have a kickboxing ring on board for some high intensity classes. And then last but not least, your basic beverages are included. So that's your coffee, tea, still and sparkling water, sodas, and juices. So with Virgin Voyages, we wanted to make it really simple and, again, not have you have to pay for all these add-ons or necessities. We wanted them built into the price. So where are we sailing to? As I mentioned, I wanted to point out kind of how our itineraries are done. So currently our 4-night itinerary is sailing to Key West. Now stay tuned on this one because with Key West, we may not be able to sail there anymore. We're still working very closely with them, but if we have changes, I guarantee we will replace it with a beautiful port, but we hope we do get to go to Key West. But for now, no changes, but we will let you know, and Just Cruisin Plus will be the first to know as well. So what's great about our Key West is that we actually had negotiated a 7 p.m. departure. So a lot of times the cruise ships have to get out of Key West much earlier, but we were able to be leaving during the incredible sunset. So that was something we were looking forward to. And then what you'll notice on our 4-night itinerary is our Bimini Beach Club has a midnight departure. So I'll specifically show you photos of the beach club. You can see one here, but it's a Virgin exclusive experience, which I'll talk about in just a second. Another itinerary for our Scarlet Lady, Puerto Plata. You arrive at 9 a.m. with a 6 p.m. departure. And then our beach club has that 10 p.m. departure here. So full days at Bimini. Mayan Sol, Costa Maya, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. So that's even longer than the last one. And again, all of our 5-night itineraries have a 10 p.m. departure from the beach club. So if you're there all day long. And my personal favorite is the Cozumel Playa del Carmen itinerary because you arrive in Cozumel at 9 a.m. and you don't depart until midnight. So you can truly do both Cozumel and Playa del Carmen, which is really nice. Personally, maybe doing some sort of excursion in Cozumel, showering, maybe going to dinner on 5th Street in Playa del Carmen and doing something really fun there. And then Bimini Beach Club, of course, 10 p.m. So what you'll notice is there's a theme. Every itinerary stops at Bimini Beach Club. This is, again, just for our sailors. So you are here only with your shipmates, and it's an extension of the ship. So your food is included, your Wi-Fi, and your basic beverages while you're here. It's truly an oasis. It's designed and inspired by Ibiza. So that's really the vibe and feel that we were going for. You may come and start with beachfront morning yoga and fresh smoothies and then transition to the nap zone maybe later in the day, which you can find here, lots of hammocks and relaxation. And then as the day goes on, maybe you want to be in a more high energy area of the beach club. So we've got our main pool area. What's neat about the pool area is we've also got our built-in DJ booth, which I'll show you this next photo. So there is a DJ booth built into the pool. We've got these on-deck sailings, which are special sailings that have featured famous DJs that are coming to perform just for our sailors. So some of the names that we had that had been rescheduled were Diplo, MK, and Sophie Tucker. So if you've ever been to Coachella, people pay a lot of money to see these artists perform for a small segment, but we actually have them coming just for our sailors to come do a really cool experience at the beach club. And then to wrap things up, like I mentioned, you always have at least a 10 p.m. departure from here, but on the 4-night, a midnight departure. And we'll always do an evening bonfire soiree, which is a really fun beach party around these large fireballs on the beach before having to go back to the ship. So it's a really neat experience. Now, Valiant Lady for us, so this is Scarlet Lady's sister ship. We announced today that she will actually start her sailings in the Caribbean starting in November of 2021. So Scarlet Lady will launch in May, and then in the winter, we'll have Valiant Lady coming. Valiant Lady will run basically different itineraries than Scarlet Lady. So while Scarlet does 4 and 5 nights, Valiant will do 6 and 8 night sailing. So if you're looking for something longer, Valiant Lady is your ship. Beautiful itineraries. Our Western Caribbean charm will add an additional port going to Roatan, and then Eastern Caribbean Antilles will go to St. Croix. So those are 2 ports that you can't get on Scarlet Lady, so we're very excited for those. And personally, with all the restaurants on board, I need at least 6 nights to try and get through these. So Valiant Lady is a great option for that. And then Valiant Lady will run transatlantic crossings as well. So you can book a 14-night transatlantic from Miami to Barcelona, where she'll spend her summers and home port out of when she's not in the Caribbean. So really exciting itineraries and options to come. But just to show you some of the onboard spaces and what the experience is that you can expect. So as we dive into Scarlet Lady, the Roundabout's the very first thing you'll see when you board. It's the main atrium area. It's really a place that you can come and gather. We'll have a lot of live music and entertainment and fun things that happened around this area. For our wellness gurus out there, this is our runway, which is our running track. What's nice about this is it's truly suspended and it's its own space, so you won't come across people that are maybe lost or cutting across the deck, so you won't have to run them over. But really great views as well, even if you just want to go for a walk and see the ocean. Our inside yoga studio, we've also got an outdoor yoga studio for those sunrise yoga classes. But like I mentioned, there is no lack of fitness on the ship. We've got our boxing rings, and it's designed to feel like an old school athletic gym. So lots of different classes you'll find here, which again are included. And diving into the social club diner, it's supposed to feel like a soda shop. So it's a diner where you can get malts and amazing French fries and burgers and that great American cuisine. But what's nice about it is we're amping up the social aspect of it. And this is a place you can come with your friends and you can find an epic amount of board games. It's a place where you can just hang out, relax, have a great conversation, or even throw it back to your favorite arcade game and you don't have to fumble with quarters. It's completely included, so you can just go up and play any of the machines, which is a really nice perk. So I can't wait to get some Pac-Man once I'm on the ship. Redemption Spa, this is a very small photo of the spa, but for us, we were really lucky. We actually won Cruise Ship Interiors Design Award for our spa without ever setting sail. So based on the design and what we have coming, it was voted best cruise ship spa for the design aspects of it. So we were super excited to finally get you on board to experience this wellness journey that we have planned. Richard Branson started as Virgin Records, so this is a tribute to him. Voyage Vinyl is a throwback to how he even got his name in the Virgin world. But what's really neat about this is all of our suites on board the ship. So if you're one of our Rockstar suite guests, you'll actually get a vinyl record player in your room. So we'll have an exchange program where you can swap out your records, and that way while you're getting ready, you can have your favorite records playing. It's really a cheeky nod to him, and also really cool because everything sounds better in vinyl. Richard's Rooftop, exclusive. So riding that sweet wave, if you're booked in one of our Rockstar suites, you will have private access to Richard's VIP deck. This is an exclusive space for you to retreat, relax. We'll have special Rockstar suite events. You've got your own bar up here and plenty of areas to hang out as well. So very exclusive. Now diving into the food, so you can really see what I mean by shaking up the way it's done. What you see on the screen right now are actual dishes from our ship. So the top left is from our test kitchen, which is a tasting course menu. The top right is an elegant seafood tower. Bottom left is from Extra Virgin, which is our Italian restaurant, and bottom right's our signature guacamole from Pink Agave. And I'll show you these restaurants, but again, these are truly the dishes you can get when you go into these restaurants and order. To start off the test kitchen, for any foodies out there, this is a dream for you. It's 5 to 7 courses, and what's great is you're really putting your faith in the chef's hands. So you come in and you just have a shopping list of ingredients and you don't truly know what the dish is. Chef uses all those ingredients to show you one of the most Instagrammable, mind-blowing dishes. It's really that molecular gastronomy. I mean, it's just things that's really, really unique to food. So you have to see it to believe it. And again, no risk to you. It is completely included in your voyage fare. So no charge to go here. And it's definitely a really fun culinary experience. Pink Agave, that elevated Mexican cuisine, will have the largest mezcal tasting menu at sea. So you get that really amazing guacamole I showed you on the front page. But what's nice about our restaurants is because we don't have that main dining room, it's truly how it is on land. You can make reservations, you can just walk in, but it is designed to allow you to dine whenever you want. So our restaurants stay open very late. So yes, it can be 11 p.m. and you can go sit down at a restaurant and have an amazing meal. Pink Agave is one of those late night venues that as it gets later into the evening, we'll have a DJ that shows up to really amp up the environment and make it more of a fun lounge. The Wake is our largest and most upscale seafood and steak house on board the ship. So that's where you'll find the elegant seafood tower, the list of bone-in and bone-out steaks that are completely included at no charge really is pretty impressive. There's a 14-ounce bone-in ribeye that has my name on it in this restaurant. And it's something that, again, it's just elevating that dining experience on board and not having a lot of exclusions. And when I say these restaurants are included, it's not that you show up and it's only like 3 items and everything else has a charge. Some of these restaurants have 25 plus entrees on them and dishes that you can order from that, again, you'll eat until your heart's content and walk right out the door. So it's really an amazing experience. Extra virgin, those fresh made, handmade pastas, rare Italian wine, charcuterie boards. It really is meant to be that family style dining. So for me, I always crave Italian food when I sail. It's really weird, but I have to have it. So Extra Virgin is a must-see. Razzle Dazzle is a signature restaurant of ours. It is our vegetarian and vegan forward restaurant. So we have a lot of sailors that we know are really restricted when they sail because there's not a ton of vegetarian or vegan options. So this was designed with them in mind. We also built vegan and vegetarian dishes into all of our menus. So no matter what restaurant you go to, you'll find options, which is really nice. You don't have to ask for a separate menu. It's built into what we've already created. But Razzle Dazzle is that perfect dose of naughty and nice. So our nice menu has our vegetarian and vegan dishes, and our naughty menu allows you to add meat to any of these dishes. So if you're in a blended group of people, there is something for everyone here. Gunbae Korean barbecue. We actually engineered these grills ourselves. We created these indoor smokeless grills so you could truly grill the food at the table just like you do in traditional Korean barbecue. This is our loudest and most fun restaurant that we have on board. You'll actually come in and start with a complimentary shot of soju and then be encouraged to play Korean drinking games throughout the meal. So actually in the back of your menu, you'll find a list of different games you can play with your table mates. So lots of fun. Our crew is there to help really drive that experience for you. But if you've never tried Korean barbecue, I highly recommend it, and there's no risk to you. And that's just a taste of some of the things you can get on board. Like I said, we have over 20 eateries, so that doesn't even put a dent in it. But it really is kind of shaking up that traditional way of cruising. We want to surprise and delight you in a sense that you leave this voyage feeling rejuvenated and that you've discovered something. So as I mentioned, Just Cruisin Plus is a great partner of us. They are an official first mate of Virgin Voyages. So any questions or bookings and things like that, you're in great hands with them. But we really hope to see you on board, and we can't wait for you to sail the Virgin Way.
Kristy, I know that people are going to have questions, and we're here to answer them. One of the things is going to be, what's the average age going to be on the ship? Do you have a clue?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. So for us, our average age is 48 years old. What we're seeing is that we're seeing a ton of people wanting to celebrate their 40th and 50th birthdays with us. So we're seeing a lot of large groups for that. And it's being seen as a celebratory ship. 85% of the people booked with us today fall between the age range of 34 and 64. So that's really where we're seeing the majority of our sailors fall. So young people love us, of course, but we also have some sailors that are up into their upper 90s. So it really does depend. It's all about the young at heart. If you are just looking for a fun experience and an atmosphere where you get that luxury service level, but it's not that fully luxury product, this is kind of in between that, which is nice.
So it's not stuffy.
No, exactly. So there's no forced dress codes, which the men normally love that one. So you're not forced to have to wear jackets or things like that. It's vacation done your way, which is really nice.
On your initial bookings, do you see mostly new to the cruise experience, or people that have traveled with other cruise lines, or have you taken a look at that yet?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we first launched, we knew we would really attract new to cruise because we thought this was a product that was different enough that people that would have never considered cruising in the past would see this and say, you know what, maybe I'll give that a try. We expect to convert a lot of people that focus on those adult-only, all-inclusive experiences. So while we're not all-inclusive, we're more inclusive, and we're pretty comparable as far as what they're looking for experience-wise. But to start, right now, we're about 82% of our bookings have cruised before, which that doesn't surprise us because we know it's hard enough to convince new to cruise, but let alone on a product that has 0 reviews or has not sailed yet. So we expect new to cruise to really amp up once we've been in operation. But right now, and we've asked a lot of these people that have cruised before why they're booking Virgin. And what we're hearing is they've cruised on a lot of different lines. We have a really strong tie to celebrity as well. So we're seeing people that kind of see it as a similar product, but still something different that they're wanting to try. But they tell us that they love cruising, but they can always guess the flow of the day. They can guess kind of what kind of shows they're going to see and the activities and the schedule and that sort of thing. So they know by booking us, they really are going to have no clue what to expect. They want to be surprised. They want to wake up and not know what's going to happen to them. So maybe they stumble into the venue at the right time and there's something pretty spectacular that happens just for you and your group of friends. And by the time you can tell someone else about it, it's gone. It's that kind of vibe. And again, just without the unpredictability of children, it's something that I think is a huge draw to us. And one of the biggest booking trends we're seeing as for us, we've got close to high 60% have children that they're leaving at home to come sail on Virgin. So,
and you know, the reason I asked the question is that this is clearly a step up from the traditional cruise. And I think the adult only and mostly inclusive nature of the product, especially with all the dining venues, that blows my mind away, because no other cruise line in the category that Virgin Voyages filled has anything approaching the assortment of dining venues, and certainly doesn't even remotely approach the all prices included and all dishes included features that you've explained to us. This is a genuinely exciting product, and Sherrie and I have both been in this business long enough that we don't get excited about much anymore.
I love it. It is. I mean, and for me, I'm really passionate about it because I am an avid cruiser, and this is everything that if I could bake my own ship, this is what I would put together, because I'm that person that I want to eat at all the restaurants that are usually not included in the fare. So, and I've been lucky enough to taste the food that's going to be on the ship, and I dream about it to this day. So we wanted to create restaurants that became so popular on our ship that they started to pop up on land versus the other way around. So it's really neat.
You know, Kristy, when Disney first came out with their ships and we knew that it was going to cater to families with kids, that was a huge, huge thing. And now we've got a ship that's going to be, or ships that will be dedicated to the adults without the kids. So we're excited to see this. And I really think you all are filling a niche that has been needed for quite some time. One other quick question before we close this up, but is there a drink beverage package for alcoholic beverages that could be purchased?
Yes. So again, even doing that differently. So we've got what we call our bar tab, and we say it pays to prepay. So essentially what it is you prepay for your alcohol. So a bar tab with us, you pay $300 and we'll give you $350 to spend on board. So you get that extra $50. But what's great about the bar tab is, unlike a lot of other ships, if you're traveling with someone that's maybe not a big drinker, you typically both have to have the beverage package. Bar tab, only one person has to have it. And it truly works as a tab. So if you wanted to pay for your cabin mate's drinks, you just put them on your tab and it comes off your bill at the end. So it's super simple. And especially heading into wave season, we like to use that as a fun promotion where sometimes we'll double that value. So you pay for $300 and we'll provide $100. So keep an eye out for that as we move into wave season and get launching. But it really is, it's just that peace of mind. And like I mentioned earlier, we've got the lowest drink pricing at sea. So just to give you an idea, a standard beer on our ship, which is a Heineken, is $5. You never have to tip because gratuities are always included. So it's truly just $5. Our cocktails range between $8 and $10. And then we've got 42% of our wine list that is $10 or less per glass.
This is exciting because if you look at similar packages and programs with other cruise lines, they're grossly more expensive than that. And it all of a sudden becomes almost a test of wills. It's like a challenge from God to try to drink your 15 drinks a day. And it's just, when I first, when the programs first came out, and then one of the cruise lines and then several other cruise lines imposed a limit of 15 drinks a day, I thought to myself, how in the name of goodness will anyone drink 15 drinks a day and know what they did while they were on the ship? This is so much more of a well thought out program that it's a selling point by itself.
Absolutely. And you nailed it, because when we did our focus groups, that's what we heard is when you have those packages that currently exist, is you get in that mindset, you wake up and you're like, all right, I don't even feel like drinking today, but if I don't drink 15, I've just thrown this money down the toilet. So we wanted to get rid of that. It's not meant to be a booze cruise. Like, of course, if you love to have a lot of drinks, you're more than welcome. But we wanted it to really mean something so that you're getting what you wanted when you wanted. You weren't limited to certain brands. And it's much easier. It's less to think about. And one thing to mention is you can buy multiple bar tabs as well. So if you're maybe doing one of those longer sailings, you could purchase 2 and you still get that bonus value on each of them. So essentially, if you bought 2, you'd spend $600 and you'd actually get $700 to spend. And then if there are any special promotions, that could be even higher. So keep an eye out for that.
This is great. It really is. This is very exciting. We just want to thank you so much for being with us today and for just filling us in on what exciting news you all have. I know this has been a trying year because I know that you all wanted to have those ships in the water, and we did too. But but it's going to be better when we can all be safe and we can sail and really enjoy getting things back to whatever the new normal is going to look like. So again, Kristy, thank you so much for being here today and for doing this for us and for our viewers. And we appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Have a safe day.
Bye-bye.